わさびアニメすごいですね。
Thank you. Hello, hello. My name is Bizalda, and I am going to be your illustrious host for this edition of Tabletop Otaku. We are sponsored and powered by Origins Game Fair, and tonight we have some fabulous hosts for a fabulous game today that I'm incredibly excited because it was kind of pitched to me as tournament arc, anime tournament arc, and if there's one thing that I absolutely love, it is tournament arcs. So I am joined by my two fabulous guests. Where are you from? What do you do? What are you here to talk about? Give me your names. Give me your pronouns.
I'll start. I'm Matt Faulisi, he, him, from Skybound Tabletop. I'm the retail sales manager, and yeah, that's me.
My name is Briana Nivinski, she, they, and I am the brand coordinator for Skybound Tabletop and Skybound's direct-to-consumer branch.
Fabulous. Well, I'm so excited to have you here. So, first off, let's talk about Tidal Blades Heroes of the Reef. What is this game and why is it so amazing to me?
This game, well, so Tidal Blades is, a really incredible world and game. We have certainly built something here that is not just a board game, but it's going to be something that's we're going to be building on in future games, future RPGs, all different. And here's some pictures and now that kind of show off the artwork from Mr. Cuddington. But that is essentially at its core, this one is a worker placement game for 2 to 5 players if you have the expansion. And yeah, it's essentially, B had mentioned tournament arcs. This is a tournament. The story of this game is that you are playing a young hero that wants to become the next Tidal Blade. Tidal Blades were protectors of the city that they have here, and after they all got wiped out, we are now looking for brand new ones, and they hold competitions but on top of monsters that are working their way through the walls that you have to defend from as well. So there is the Palm Plaza, and one of the locations of the game as well.
It just looks so heckin' cool. Also, my brain, have you watched Hunter x Hunter?
Oh.
I stopped watching after season 2 because it got a bit much. But the first season, it's literally we need somebody to be strong to help defend from the thing.
Yeah.
And I just got those vibes because like season 1 starts with a tournament arc, and it's like these 2 little dweeby kids that have to learn their powers. So getting strong Hunter x Hunter vibes, and I love that. Okay, I'm dying to know because first off, there's one character that I think is so cool. Strong protagonist vibes, but there's also like first, tell me about some of these characters.
Oh geez, yeah, you're working through them right now. So those are the 4 main characters of the game. That is, we have starting from the right there, Axel. Axel, and you know what? Honestly, if you give me 1 second here, I actually have write-ups of all these little guys, and I can show you, kind of get into it just a little bit more with them as I go here. There is so Axel's all the way to the right. Echo is next to him. Echo is an axolotl.
Thank you. I can't say that word. I rely on other people to say
it. So, and then next to Echo is Cayman, the mercenary, a trained mercenary who hunts dangerous creatures for a living. And then next to Cayman is Dust, the desert traveler. And so a little bit of story on each one. Dust has just arrived in Navari and has much to learn about customs, but she knows how to make the most of every opportunity. It had always been her childhood dream to join the traders' caravan and come to the Blue City. So that's kind of just like a little bit of background on Dust. She is one of my favorite characters to use in the game. Her abilities, and I just love her whole entire thing that she's got going on.
What's her special ability? Like, what is unique to this character when they're kind of, I know worker placement, but they all seem to have like unique roles and unique powers.
They do, and in this game, it's all in the way of like unique character cards, special cards that give them just different bonuses to different places, and they might be able to manipulate the board in different ways. There are some thematic ties to how that plays out, but right in this game, it's not necessarily that Dust is more agile or in K-Man is stronger, but that's certainly something that will be more fleshed out in later games, as we look into more like dungeon crawls or RPGs where we can really explore their character in like gameplay. The worker placement game just is more mechanics between each character.
Mm-hmm. And so this is also like wasabi anime. It's very much geared towards anime viewers. For those who are unfamiliar with what worker placement is, how could you give like a nice simple summary?
Yeah. I mean, Bree, do you want to talk about worker placement?
Yeah, worker placement is you are in control of your pieces and where you are moving it on the board. And based on where you are moving and what actions you are performing, that is how you are accumulating the points that will help win you the game. Because this is taking place in a world, you're physically moving around different areas in order to compete or fight monsters or shop. And to me, on an anime level, like the Tidal Blades universe is like classic shonen.
Yes.
Like it is just like, taking like a look at the larger universe of Tidal Blades is that shonen series. And just as you were saying with Hunter x Hunter, which I know is 1,000,000 seasons, so I've not watched.
Yeah, I will not.
Like
I can forgive you for not watching it. And like the author stopped writing the manga, so like there's nothing new. There's no more new content. He just like
I've heard about
he's over
that
it. Yeah,
too.
yeah. So that's also disappointing if you need to make that plunge.
But that like the introduction being that tournament arc to figure out who is strongest to help fight the real monsters that are plaguing our society. That beginning to the greater shonen narrative.
Yeah.
Season 1.
Season 1.
Yeah.
This is season 1. Actually, this is if you notice on the cover there, and it's showing right now at the very bottom on the dock, it's part 1. This is very much intended as this is the very introduction to these characters that we're going to be, exploring a whole lot more down the road.
I love that. Well, let's go back to the characters because I have a favorite character. You have a favorite character. Bree, do you have a favorite character?
Mine is also Dust. In any game I play, whether it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Pokemon or a Dragon Age or a Tidal Blades, it is about the art. I will learn how to play that character based off of which character I like the most, and Dust just looks so cool. She just cool. I love her backstory. I love that she's new in town and she's ready to, take big things on. And I mean, she's just cool in the lineup. So she's my favorite.
B, which one are you drawn to?
Oh gosh, names. It's not Echo, because Echo's just a little cutie.
That's okay.
Axel? Is that their name?
That is Axel.
Yes.
And yeah, Axel is
hair. I love it.
So just a little backstory on Axel. He is the son of Braze. It's a famous Tidal Blade who disappeared 15 years ago when the fold was deployed. So like basically his dad fought in the Great War that like basically he's kind of coming up for that. It says as a half I can't quite pronounce what he is. He has a human father. Living under the shadow of his legendary mother wasn't always easy. Axel found his calling when he started racing at a young age and has now become a local star at Lamara Stadium. Known for his sportsmanship and wild stunts, he'll need to turn inwards and confront his past if he truly wants to follow his mother's footsteps and embrace his path as a Tidal Blade. So he has a little bit of a legacy behind him. He's kind of Todoroki there from My Hero, right?
Yes.
He's that character,
the shadow of endeavor,
Yes,
how do you live up to that?
How do you live up to it? But he acts quite a bit differently as not so quiet. He's definitely out there and loving his fame.
Again, anime protagonist. You have made a main character right there.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's not supposed to be the main focus because there's other wonderful characters, but Dust, I would watch the show about him and his friends, or excuse me, Axel. I would watch a show about him and his friends, Dust and Cayman and Echo. Echo, I feel like I get strong. My brain goes to Shippo from Inuyasha.
Okay.
and I don't know, like little small people who provide humor and are very good at what they do. So like, what is Echo good at
Bree, do you know what Echo's good at?
other than being cute?
Well, the people that Echo is are the people of the sorry,
Is
the
this the one
Citadel of
that
Time, right? They have those
Mhm.
special abilities, Matt.
Yes. Yeah. So the basically well protected inside the Citadel of Time, where they use their incredible intellect to make complex calculations for the high engineers. Echo is not like her peers, though. She's fascinated by the monsters of the outside world and dreams of studying the Fold and its mysteries. What she lacks in strength and experience, she more than compensates with her outstanding mastery of shells and microonic manipulation.
what
You
does
know,
that
so
mean?
the technology of the time, right? Like, you know, essentially like what they're using. For instance, they have like these shell shields that they use to defend themselves with while they're in battle and all that. So
That is really cool. Also, multi-purpose shells.
yeah,
I dig
yeah,
that.
yeah. Echo the Betalad is
Megalod.
what
Thank you.
it
I
could,
just want to say
that's
axolotl so bad.
that's what you want to say. Yeah, well, and that's, you know, learning the the how to say say them correctly. I just don't want to mess it up.
It's very different when you have to read it versus having to say it out loud.
I
You
know.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah.
All right, well, that leaves our last character, Cayman, our big buff alligator.
Cayman.
Cayman.
Yes.
It's a crocodile.
Crocodile, that's the
because
other
Cayman
one.
isn't that it's a wonderful pun of a name because aren't caimans that branch of animal?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I only
Yeah.
thought it was an island. Is it actually based on something?
I don't know. Cayman actually has a very similar backstory to Axel. Cayman, he's a trained mercenary who hunts dangerous creatures for a living. His entire family was killed by a Garakuda, which essentially
Ooh.
is one of the monsters that came out of the Fold, right?
Okay.
Years ago, and on that day, he swore to become the greatest monster hunter that ever lived. Joining the Tidal Blades would be an honor and a chance for him to avenge his loved ones and make the world a better place. So his heart's in the right spot. He is a resourceful and tough competitor, but like most crocs in the Naviri, he's treated as an outcast by the Turtle Guards, which with such a recognizable stature, he'll need to be especially careful when visiting his friend Horn Eyes in the black market. So that's
Horn eyes? Like his eyes are horns?
Yeah. Yeah, Horn Eyes.
I love a name that tells you what you're getting. I really do.
Very rare. Yeah. What's like the they do that so much, especially in My Hero, when they announce their powers and they give the like little backstory. It's like he's got tape for arms and his name is you know, like that, and they're just right on the nose for like his name versus like what their
powers
you know
do.
Powers do, and that's
quirks.
Yeah.
I think there's like Kamui Wood, which just translates to like wood.
Yeah.
And he's the person that has wood for powers. Go ahead.
Froppy, frog girl, Froppy. What did she choose?
I mean, her powers are just frog things. Froppy is her like her hero name, and her name is like Suyu Asui.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're
Very
getting some.
on
We're
the
getting
nose.
some My Hero. Looking like a little bit of the intro here. I could just sit here and watch this with you guys. I absolutely love this show.
Gosh, right?
So good.
I'm trying to think about that. So when you're introduced to all the characters at the beginning, I think like episode 5 or 6, and their OG names. So Todoroki, his hero name is Icy Hot.
Icy Hot, right? Yeah. And then
so bad.
So on the nose. Yeah, Icy Hot. And yeah, that's too funny. I mean,
you know, they know their audience and they simplify it to make it easy for us, and I appreciate that.
They do. Sorry, I'm just in the Bakugo. I just get caught up in watching this. I feel like it's just such a well done show, and honestly, really does have one of the best tournament arcs in any shows. And what was it? Season 2,
the UA arc.
The UA. It's so good.
It's been like for folks. I have a podcast where I basically just talk about with 2 people who've never really watched anime about what makes these shows so consumable and so good. And we're going through My Hero Academia right now, and we're gonna stop after season 1. So like we don't get to watch the UA arc together. And there's just something about tournament arcs. There's just something about tournament arcs
Yeah.
that I think are so wonderful, and it's the trope. Every single one of my favorite anime show has a tournament arc. DBZ, One Piece, Hero, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia. Like, if it doesn't have, and it's a shonen trope, you know. And so the fact that you've based an entire board game around the one thing that I will watch on repeat is just delightful.
Yeah, that was the first, and honestly, like Brie and I were like going back and forth, like, well, what are we going to, really say about this, like, with anime? And it's so plainly obvious that is such a great connection, that if you like these, and in My Hero's tournament arc, I mean, I think Deku really comes out as his own, and like becomes a hero by the end of that thing, even though he doesn't win the tournament. Oh, spoiler. But regardless, like, that is just something that he just becomes such a great, strong character after that. So yeah, this is the first game is we kick things off with a tournament arc in our first board game.
Oh, I love that so much. Like, I don't know if you ever watched OG Dragon Ball as well, but I think like season 2 or season 3, they have their first tournament arc. And it's so integral to developing these kind of characters and making you fall in love with them, because that's, like, again, with Deku, that's where like, his powers kind of blossom, and he figures out ways to utilize those powers in a way that are, well, he won't hurt himself as much. And that is just so cool. And that is such a familiar theme in everything that I love.
Oh, here's the UA Fest right here, a little snippet of it.
Angry Bakugo.
One of my favorite things about tournament arcs is, especially like it's such an opportunity to build character, because you're watching people, your characters, your favorites and your least favorites, win and lose and deal with it. And so it provides such an opportunity for growth for those characters, and being able to like have that for a season and watch them overcome sort of like an insular conflict just is so binge worthy.
Oh my goodness. So like, I have like maybe a spoiler question for Tidal Blades. Are the characters that we know now and love, are they going to get any different moves? Will they change within like a different iteration? Will there be growth for them?
So
you don't have to answer that if it's too.
No, it's, I mean, and Bree, obviously jump in and cut me off if you would, but I'm just going to say that in this game, there is some built-in story around everything, and nothing spoiler is, the story's where it is right now. And this worker placement game, you can play it with your friends over and over again, have different people win the tournament each time, right? Like, this is, it's an event that just continues to happen. All of the characters are going to be progressing. All of the characters are going to be gaining all kinds of new abilities and everything like that in Tidal Blades, like 2, and like in the RPG, right? Like, where you are going to be playing as one of them, or and actually going through an entire campaign, where that's like the whole point, is like building up your own character. But Bree, do you want to talk anything about like that?
Yeah, well, I was actually wanting to mention that with I know, because I personally own the deluxe version of the game, if for those of us who backed it on Kickstarter, came with a wonderful narrative book that gave, so like the game itself feels like book 1. Yes. And so you're asking like, oh, what's happening in season 2, book 2. But the great thing about the game is it comes with a lot of foundational knowledge, so that like, yes, like, here's a whole world, here everybody's back, like, here's all that good narrative world building stuff that I want for while I'm playing this game, so that next time we can continue growing.
And look, if we look really close,
oh my goodness,
that's Horn Eyes. It's
Does he have horns for eyes?
I don't think so.
It's got many eyes, though.
It's got many eyes. Yeah.
I choose to believe that 2 of them are made out of horns, and they're just kind of like off on the side of his head.
This is so great, though. This almanac that Bree's talking about, in this book, the backstory, it really does have a little bit of everything in here, including character profiles, which
it features just more of the Mr. Cuddington art, and I mean, it's so beautiful to look at. Like,
yes.
Yeah, if you want, I mean, we can even look a little bit more if you wanted to go over to the tabletop. We have the game open, and we could kind of show you a little bit more there if you'd like, unless there's anything else you want to chat about beforehand.
No, I think bringing it over to the tabletop would be brilliant.
Cool.
And for those watching at home, we are utilizing Tabletop Simulator, which turns out, in a world of pandemic, in a world where things are online, this tool is so hecking useful. You can still play games with your friend, and like, look at this spread. Again, I'm trying to appeal to folks who might not be aware of the glory of Tabletop Simulator. It's just like, it's vibrant, it's brilliant, and my all-time favorite feature is if you get frustrated, you can flip the table.
You can.
Yes,
You
it's
can.
Very important to share.
It's very scary too because it's normally like 10 times louder than you would expect.
Yes.
Please don't. This only because there's so many pieces on this, and I know it's funny because it's a button and you just hit click to reset. But with
Yeah.
as many pieces that are in here, we would still be looking at a loading screen and everything. But regardless, the table, maybe at the end we'll flip the table. So we'll
Yeah.
end with that.
Okay.
However, Bree, why don't you talk just for a second about Tabletop Sim and how we adapted to that? Bree wrote an entire thing for this. So tell us a little bit about how we worked Tabletop Sim during the pandemic.
Yes. So obviously we, weren't a team, specifically the development team. We weren't a team that worked remotely. We had an office, and we, the team would get together and develop games, and would, fly out to designers, or, have game jams, and these situations where we can in person collaborate and build and work on these things that, everything that it takes to bring an idea all the way through to completion. And we lost that. And it's how do we make games when none of us can see each other? And that's when, we had the idea, like, well, we can start loading just stuff onto Tabletop Simulator just for like projects that we were really had most all the way through the line and just needed to do some, last minute like play testing and just final tweaks. But as we started to do that, and we as a group got familiar with the mechanics of TTS, and our wonderful, amazing game designer and staff, Dan Stong, became more and more familiar with how to like do all of the back end things in building and rendering stuff, we were able to use it earlier and earlier in the process for game design and development, for internal play testing. And then we started using it to work with external play testers for feedback and further development. And now Skybound Tabletop has a Discord, and everybody's welcome to come join. We love it.
If you
But
send us the link, we'll post that in chat.
Yes. We have these games that we are releasing monthly onto TTS for everybody to play, and we use then our Discord to remind people that it's there, and then to have a community of people. Like, if you want to play, I know for example, Valor and Villainy 1, we have our Kickstarter for its sequel happening right now, but Valor Villainy 1 is on Tabletop Simulator, so you can always like hook up with some friends and play from afar. But it allowed us to really reshape how we design stuff and how we got to interact with our community.
Oh my goodness, that's really wonderful. Do you ever host any I don't know how to, like, community games where like somebody on your team? You do?
Yes, our, again, wonderful social media manager, Jess, who runs all of the Skybound Tabletop social media, as well as Dan, our game designer, will get together, and they will announce that they're like, this week, this Friday, we're going to put together, this week it's Trial by Trolley, or this week we'll play this. And so they make that announcement, and then they gear that up and they facilitate it, and whoever wants to come in, join, absolutely can.
Oh, that is fabulous. Okay, I have to take a moment to do like a self-insert, because we are a part of Origins Game Fair, and September 30th to October 3rd of this year, we will be having our usual weekend to run Origins Game Fair. And like, a game like this would be so hecking fabulous to get a couple people together with their masks on and playing it. Will y'all be attending this year?
We're not sure yet.
Okay.
It changes daily, obviously,
Mhm.
with the way the world is now opening back up and conventions are starting to get a little bit more normal. And obviously, there is in-person events
Normal.
happening. Yeah, I know, right? But the conventions are starting to go back off, which I'm very excited about. I mean, I cannot wait to see people again,
Right.
and play some board games. I hope we do get a chance to get out there, and if we do, we will most certainly be bringing Tidal Blades. If not, we'll catch you. We'll catch you at the next one. We'll be at
Yeah.
them. We normally are at every single one. Every year. So
This is a weird year. I mean, worst case scenario, there's still going to be a bunch of virtual events that will be
yeah,
happening.
and so that everybody knows, if anyone's watching right now, this Tidal Blades mod is on it's for public. So if you have Tabletop Simulator for Steam, search for the Tidal Blade mod. If you're looking for a creator, I can't remember what Dan's name is on there. Bree, do you remember? But regardless, like I said, there might be a couple different ones on there.
There's three, yeah.
There's three of them. Okay, so this is the one that we put up there. It's all official, created by us. Recommend grabbing this one because we have the expansion in there. We also have the solo mode. We have
whoa, hold on.
two-player
The
mode.
expansion is in here. What comes with the expansion?
Ooh, so yes, the expansion. If actually, if we can move to the left on the other side of the board, the first thing that it adds is and then spin around to show this character. Amazing. So this is Sagashi. This is our fifth player.
Another person.
Yeah, Sagashi is our fifth player character expansion. And if you actually zoom in a little bit on the card to the right, or just highlight over Sagashi's story, we can kind of like go over how Sagashi is roped into all of this as well.
Yes.
You can actually just hit Alt and it
we can see it fine, I think, right now. Sagashi, and I'll read through it here. The Sagashi is the first non-monster creature to emerge from the fold. So Sagashi came from the fold where all the monsters attacked. He arrived in the midst of the tournament bearing both dire and hopeful tidings. Drew, his telepathic isopod companion, led him here in search of his wife who disappeared in a time rift many years ago. The mysterious chameleon is equipped with all sorts of outlandish technology, some of it now broken by his constant time travels. He joins the tournament hoping that the engineers from the Citadel will assist him in repairing his gear and getting back to the fold. You can actually see, if you zoom in on the character too, his little isopod that lives on his shoulder, which is super great.
I want to see them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's just a little lump.
Sagashi's great. And it's on his head, or it's on his leg. It's always it's always with him at some point, but you can kind of see it. Yeah, how great is Sagashi? Is my favorite character. I love Sagashi. But I think it's about $25. You get an extra character, but that's not all. You actually get an entirely new area that's on the board. You get a whole new island called Angler's Cove. And what Angler's Cove adds is, I think Angler's Cove is right there. Yeah, we don't have to move. You don't have to move it or put it on the board or anything like that. I can just kind of show you what Angler's Cove adds. It adds 3 new spots to go, and you can now travel to Angler's Cove. And the rewards are very, very strong. They're great rewards. Lots of dice and fruit and shell shields, as you can see, or extra cards. However, every time you visit Angler's Cove, you draw an outcast token. It's actually frowned upon to go to Angler's Cove. So what you end up doing is you grab these tokens, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most, you can pull one of those out. Those are what the discs look like, and just kind of click and drag it out like you would like grab a card. I don't think you have to. Maybe. If not, that's okay.
We'll learn together.
Yeah, it's all good. But they're just little like turtle shell tokens, and on the backside they have a number on them. And whoever has like the most loses points at the end of the game. So you can go there to get the good rewards, but you may possibly be losing points at the end of it.
I love that. Angler's Cove. I'd spend all my time there. I would just be like the regular reject.
Hey, you're going and saying, listen, I'm going to take some negative points. I just want to live in Angler's Cove. I'm the outcast.
Really nice here. It's nice and quiet,
Yeah.
You never get bothered. Oh, that is so wonderful. I love the vibe of this game. We'd kind of talked a little earlier, but like I get such strong One Piece vibes. Everything is on the sea. You have this goal. You want to achieve the thing. You want to be the best. I mean, sure, you're not looking to become the pirate king or acquire the One Piece, but there is a goal that you are working towards. There's also fruit in this game, and again, they might not be gum fruit. Why fruit?
Fruit is It's just what they have and they use as currency. Their fruit is important to them, and I'm sure coming down the road we're going to learn a whole lot more about why fruit is one of their main
Ooh.
currencies. But it's fruit,
I love that. There's the potential for more lore. That's
and they're
you have me there.
and in the deluxe version they're squishy fruit, and Brie knows all about our squishy fruit.
Yes, I do.
Will you
Yeah.
tell me? I love squishy fruit.
Part of our social media platforms is our Skybound Tabletop TikTok, and for one of them, this is not advisable. Do not do this at home.
Oh, are you gonna tell me to eat it? Because I will.
I'm not going to tell you to eat it, but if you want to know what the experience was like, I did do a 3-part TikTok series where I wanted to see if I could fit them all in my mouth.
Yeah. No, don't tell me. I want to watch it. I have to find out the hard way.
You'll have to wait and find out.
Go to the Skybound Tabletop TikTok and go watch Brie try to see how many squishy fruit from Tidal Blades she can fit in her mouth, and it is, boy,
But
it's
do not do it yourself.
Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Because the legal does not say anything to me.
Yep. I understand your legal disclaimer, but I will still do what I want to do.
The link came up in chat too. So thanks Skybound for throwing the tabletop TikTok in there. Go follow along, because outside of, and I'll tell you just to plug that real quick, outside of the squishy fruit, Jess has been doing an amazing job on TikTok playing Trial by Trolley live with people, like just playing some of our games like through TikTok and using the comments as engagement. Like it's so great. It's really a growing platform, and I think really it was popular, but I think pandemic helped take that thing off into whole new levels.
Oh yes, the pandemic has introduced us to an entire new world of gaming, and it's for what I'm grateful. Yeah. I mean, I would rather not all of that have to have happened for us to get here, but like the benefits have been outrageously good.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to try and play a round of this?
I mean, we got time. Obviously, if anybody in chat has questions, throw them in there. But I think we'll play around and kind of give everybody an idea of how this goes. So what we'll do now, I'm gonna click over to the game itself. All right, guys. So we're in here. B is playing as Axel, and Briana is playing Dust. I feel, is that correct?
I am. I would also contest the cool one.
Yeah. So now at the beginning of the game, we each only get 2 actions. So this is a worker placement game, and we'll be visiting the different islands around. There's a first player token here, and we're going to get right into it. Now, given B doesn't know all the rules yet, but we're going to kind of learn and play all at the same time, and kind of just give everybody at home a chance to kind of see how like a turn will work and what you'll get and why you would want to do stuff. Essentially, B, you can go ahead and would you like to take the first turn and try to?
Yeah, I'm just gonna place my little person where I think they can go.
Yeah.
Can I place them? I'm not zoomed in on anything. That would probably help me.
Go to the guard tower.
Yeah.
Okay, so absolutely. So the guard tower. So there's, as you can see here, there's a guard tower. There's actually 4 spaces in the Chronoseum to go to. B picked the guard tower. Now, if you look underneath what B covered up, now what we're going to take one of your action discs, and we're going to put that right there first, because you'll be moving your character goes like right on top of it. So, however, what did we cover up? We covered up a blue die. So one of these, you're going to bring this right over, and I'm going to put it right in your active pool. Now, if you look at the dice, if you kind of zoom up a little bit and look at all the different dice that I have on the board, everybody starts with 2 of the white dice. Now, you use these dice to complete challenges and fight monsters and all different, sort of things. The white dice are the weakest dice. However, there's a dice tree. And what that means is these dice upgrade in 2 different paths as you buy dice and upgrade them. So as the dice, each level has better and more icons on it for you to complete challenges easier. So B, you just got like one of these dice here, which is going to be a little bit stronger than your white die. Okay. So the first thing that you did was you went to the guard tower, you got your dice. Now, also what you can do is you can draw a stunt card. Now, that's just something that you can do at the Chronoseum, because anytime you go to the Chronoseum, you can draw a stunt card, grab the top card from the stunt deck, and that's right here. And you can flip it over. We're not going to play with hands so that everybody can see. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this over for you and kind of explain what this card does, okay? So what stunt cards do, and you can play them, you can play a stunt card anytime on your turn. So you can hold on to this for as long as you want. But what this says is when fighting a monster, upgrade a number of dice equal to your spirit level. So what that means is if you look at your character board, there are 4 traits that you upgrade throughout the game. Focus, spirit, resilience, and synergy. Spirit is what we call our stunt power, and that's how strong your cards are. So for instance, if you go fight a monster, say this game or some other game that you're playing, you will actually be able to turn this card in before you, when fighting a monster, spend it, and dependent on your spirit level, which right now it's 1, so you'd be able to level up 1 die, right? Or it says equal to your spirit trait level, so you'd be able to upgrade 1 dice. So you could upgrade, say, the white to a blue, or you could upgrade the blue to a the black and blue, the next level up, right? So that's one way that you can upgrade your dice.
All right, I have a completely unrelated question, but we're talking about dice in chat, and I just really wondered, have you tried, specifically Bree, since I feel like you have a lot of tactile experience with this game, have you tried to hold all the dice in one hand and roll them, and how successful was that? Or did you just drop dice?
I have weak baby hands, and so like if you're asking me if I've held the entirety of the game's dice within my hands, much like, you know, loose pasta, just all the way through. There's quite a few dice because there's your upgrades across for all of the characters. I can strongly fit the starter 2 in my hand, though.
Okay, good sight.
Also, I know that Powerhelm asked if there's a neat way to store the dice, and there is, absolutely. There's a tray. Well, the tray comes in the deluxe one. The standard one is there's spots in the retail box where you can place the dice. So there's a couple different options for you know, keeping your dice separate and nice in both versions of the game, actually.
I love that. Dice management, dice organization is a real struggle. Anybody who's played any kind of board games, tabletop games, you know that you have to have some kind of dice management system when you own.
Yeah, there's a nice
plus.
little. Yeah, there's compartments in the retail edition. Now, I will say though, there are so many dice in this game. I don't think anybody could put all the dice in their hand. I don't think they would fit. I mean, if y'all wanted, I got the game here. I could try right now, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to end up with dice all over the place. So.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, it's still your turn, B. So you drew your stunt card. Now, you're not fighting a monster or anything, but you can complete a challenge. Every turn, you have an opportunity to take one of your challenge cards. Now, B starts with 3. Okay. Now, the only challenge card you're allowed to play is ones that match the location that you went. So the Chronoseum card, yep, she's got it. This one right here. So this card.
Where did I put it?
You know what? Just right anywhere, but not like flying it all over the table.
No
so
promises.
this is perfect. We'll leave it right here. So unlock the Yamazi crate challenge is something you're gonna do now. The first thing that you're gonna do is how many dice would you like to commit? Now, first you have to look at your focus. Your focus trait on your player board tells you how many die you can roll for challenges or fighting monsters. Now, it's currently only at 1. You haven't upgraded it at all. This is your first turn of the game. So you will be able to grab 1 die. Now, would you like to roll your blue die that you just got, or would you like to roll your... Okay, that's what I thought. That's a very good choice. So we're going to put the blue die there. Now, as you can see, there's an opportunity to get 2. You're only going to be able to roll 1 best case scenario on this.
Okay.
In order, you can, however, spend fruit to roll an extra dice. You start with 2 fruit. So would you like to spend a fruit to roll one of your white dice as well?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's put one of those fruit away and bring one of your white die along with it.
Whoa, where did you put the fruit?
I don't know. I put it over here and then it like fell on the plot. I just kind of set it off to the side for right now. Yeah, we're just fruit over there. All right, so now we have these 2 dice. There is one more die that you have to roll, though. And let me introduce you all to the danger die.
Yes.
This is actually what makes this game and challenges really fun, is this danger dice. Every round, or on rounds 1, 2, and 4, you'll be rolling this die. Okay, you roll a danger die every round, but as the rounds progress, the danger die will get to be more difficult. So challenges will become more difficult. We're on the easiest danger die right now. But essentially what happens is you're trying to roll, there's X's and then there's blanks. If you're looking for blanks, you don't want anything bad to happen for this roll.
Okay.
However, if you roll an X, you will lose a die permanently. So one of your dice go away and you won't actually even get that that roll, that dice will go away. The good news is you can re-roll as many times as you want until you lose all your dice. So there's a little push your luck element here where it lets you continue to roll so long as you don't lose all your dice. Now I'm going to explain a little more as we go, but first I'm just going to have you roll. B, why don't you go ahead and you can drag a square, like click and drag a square around all 3 of those, and then just hit.
That was pitiful. Let me try again.
Don't try to use your hand. Just click and drag over all of them, and then hit R like 3 times. Let go of them for a second.
1,
and hit
2, 3.
Yeah, so there you go. Great. So that's a pretty good roll right there. You completed 1. You got 1 icon, right?
Yep. And
you could set that aside and say, okay, I'm going to lock that in as completing 1 for the challenge. Now, do you want to roll these again?
What does the little wind mean? That's just useless to me, right?
It's useless to you because it's not on the card. That would be a different icon if you had a different challenge.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll. What the heck?
Yeah, well, it's not even re-rolling. You're just continuing rolling because you've locked in one of your dice already. So go ahead and highlight these 2 and roll those. Oh, okay, so you got nothing and an X. Now, you would normally say, well, I would lose this dice. However, go back to your player board. You have a thing called a shell shield. Every character has a shell shield. And what this does is this blocks those X's. And what you do is you move one of them over to your shell shield, because you have 2 shells here. We start you off with 2, and that goes over into your shell shield. What this does is it starts to power up your shell shield. The more shells that are in there, you can actually spend them to do special abilities and some really cool stuff. But for now, that blocks that X. So you don't lose the dice, and allows you to re-roll again if you want to. So re-roll again.
Before I roll though, I need like a cosplay shield. Like I need an IRL shell shield, because
that would be
like Velcro, like
amazing.
Them on.
That would be amazing.
Ooh.
I want that too. Yeah, shell shields for all. Like I think that is like. That would be so cool. I wish I was good at that. I've seen some people do that cosplay. Like there's a girl that does the Monster Hunter cosplay. If you've seen like her armor outfits, it's like she spends 500 plus hours on these things, and it's like with LED lights that like go through the whole thing. Looks so cool. Yeah. But go ahead, roll those dice.
Oops, I unhighlighted them.
Oh, okay. So you missed, and you have another shell shield, so we're going to go ahead and put that here.
Okay, I think that might be it then.
This was your last shell shield. Now you can roll again, but know that if you roll an X, you'll lose that dice.
I don't want to lose my dice.
Well, that's the choice you have to make, B.
Axel's tough. He knows what's up. We're not going to roll.
You're not going to roll. That's okay. Because you completed 1. You did complete this challenge. So these 2 dice go into your spent dice, which means you can't use them again until you refresh them. Okay. I'll explain that later. And since you completed, you get to go up 1 on the synergy track. So again, you match on your board what that is. And this is going to increase by 1. I'm going to go ahead and just make it a 2 here for you.
Thank you. I love the visuals of that. It's just a cute little roundabout.
It's the dials are really cool on their own. Now, this allows you to draw another character card, and what you can have up to 2 character cards. Now you have 1, which is racing engine, which means when you visit the stadium, you get to move the boat an extra space, which is just like an extra ability that you have.
Okay.
But now you get to draw another one. Yeah, not that one. I knew that one's going to be there too. And that's an artifact. Here we go.
Keep
so
drawing.
Now yeah, exactly. Of course, I didn't set this up right. All right. So now you unlocked pushing the limits, which is when you complete a 3-symbol challenge, you may take your island bonus again, which is just an extra bonus. So you're going to kind of start to build these up and get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. But
I love
that's a couple character cards. That's your turn. B, you've completed a challenge. You went there. This all starts to move a little bit faster. 1, in person, and 2, once you start to learn, the game a little bit more. But let's let Bree take her turn and see where Dust is gonna go.
Yes, and I am going to go somewhere different. And I have to say, this is one of the things I love about like the comparison to a tournament arc. It's because we know like any good tournament arc is a full season. And I think it's the most fun when you're able to watch multiple characters kind of embark on different paths to reach their same goal. So, this option to sort of, yes, you can go and really build up your synergy and get different cards that way. Or, like you're going to fight in the Chronoseum versus me, who I'm going to go to the old boat race over here.
Ooh, to the stadium.
I'm going here. And getting on over.
What is the purpose of the boat race? Like narratively as well, like how does the boat race benefit the people?
It's not necessarily like this boat is not racing. This boat is just working its way around the stadium. Okay. You're just advancing the boat and collecting rewards as it goes around. There's inside of the stadium are where a lot of the races happen, where they race on like jet skis and all different kinds of other like individual events are happening inside Lamara Stadium. This boat is just something that travels around. Lamara Stadium is close to Draska Ring, where there's like lots of merchants and where they're selling all that, all the different stuff. So yeah, this boat's just kind of traveling.
Of this ever play Wind Waker, like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker?
Yo, so that's the best Zelda game ever, by the way. Wind Waker, there's nothing better than Wind Waker. And if they don't put that on Switch in HD here pretty soon, I'm like gonna lose my mind.
We just got Skyward Sword.
I don't want Skyward Sword. I don't want to wave. I don't want to wave it. Me neither.
Over Twilight Princess.
Okay, I love Twilight Princess. No. I love it.
I know. I was like, that was the Wii one they should have brought. Sorry.
Yes. That's what I would have needed. Honestly, Skyward Sword is fine. I never beat it for a reason. My middle name is legally Zelda because I am a passionate fan of The Legend of Zelda.
Is it? That's awesome.
Yes. It's a long story that I'll get into one day.
I love it.
Love that.
But I'm very, very passionate about The Legend of Zelda and like Wind Waker vibes, like especially with the boat that just kind of moves around.
Totally
Beetle,
Wind Waker vibes.
Beetle, your weirdo traveling merchant dropping you off goods.
In all of our preparation for this, how I never linked Wind Waker with this. I mean, we were thinking anime, but like, man, Wind Waker is so it. They're just on an island, and yeah, there's like danger. It's just great. Yeah, because
if you need a playlist to listen to, the Wind Waker playlist while playing this game, you'll feel like you're on the water.
That would be really good. That'd be really good. I think there's some Tidal Blades playlists in Spotify. I'm not entirely sure about that.
I think it might have had like Telfino Plaza music on it, or like some of those like jokes in there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I am going to spend. Oopsies, I'm gonna drop that. I'm going to spend 1 fruit to add a die since I only have my basic. I can't.
Real quick.
Silly me.
Bree, back up. You went to the repair shop, right? So you gained 2 shells. And then
that's how you get shells.
Yes, you can get more shells from there. So you start with 2. So you should have 4 shells.
I thought I went to. Oh, that's right. Thank you. I forgot which one I chose. I will grab 2 more shells.
Yeah.
And then and here's a question for you, Matt. Do I complete my action, my performance, or do I move the boat first?
You can go ahead and move the boat first and then do your challenge.
Okay,
I believe it might be either, I think you have to do it in this order. I'm not entirely sure on that, but go ahead and move the boat because that's going to automatically move for you going there. And it's just, you're going to get a stunt card. So go ahead and take the top stunt card.
But we are laying them out for all to see.
Yes, and the reason she got a stunt card is because every time you go to Lamar Stadium, you move the boat, you get the reward that's underneath the boat, and that icon is a stunt card icon. So she got that card.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
And this actually details something that we haven't touched yet, but again, it has My Hero Academia vibes to me. There is a judge character that rotates around the different areas based on like turn, not player turn, but like round turn. And depending on where he is at, if you perform one of your challenges there and succeed, you get to also move up
the champion board.
on the champion board, which to me is like the teacher
Yes,
is watching.
and listen, B completed a challenge in the Colosseum where the judge was. So we got to move B up on the champions board. That is
Oh,
something. Thank you, Bree.
Yes.
I'm going to move up Axel
Thank
one
you.
on the so you're winning. You're winning on this champions board
Thank
right
you.
now.
What can I
Because
say?
look, it's this character right here. This judge. So for this round, he lives in the Colosseum. However, next round he'll go and he'll move to Lamara Stadium, and then he'll move to Droska Ring. Each turn he goes to a different space. He doesn't go to the fold. He doesn't care about being there, but he goes to all the other spaces. And again, if you complete a challenge there, yeah, you move up on the champion board. Thanks, Bree.
No,
Also,
and
what a cutie. Little turtle
Yeah.
dude.
He is a little turtle dude.
Holding on to like a scythe, which is
Yeah.
really intense.
I
But
know.
like that's the kind of turtle face that I would love to impress.
looks very wise.
So yeah, Skybound has confirmed in the chat, space bonus, island bonus, then do a challenge. So challenge would be at the end.
Perfect. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, thank you, Skybound.
All right then, and I am going to, since I am here, I'm going to do the pillar balance. So I only have one focus, so I only get to roll one dice. But again, if I pay one fruit, I can roll that second dice of mine.
You can, yep. So you can roll both your dice.
And then I need to grab a danger die.
You need to, yep. There's only one danger die, and B
there's
still
only
had
one?
it. So,
Thank
well,
you.
yeah, we just passed it around. Yep.
Oh, okay. Again, that's so you don't have so many dice to hold when you're trying to hold all the dice
Yeah,
at once.
yeah.
I got it.
There's a lot of dice in this game already.
Right. Well, that certainly wasn't it.
That wasn't it. So go ahead and put a shell. But you have four. You have 4 shells. So
Yes.
I'll go ahead and put one on your shield for you.
Thank
and
you.
Actually, we'll just swap these here.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
because if I had one of those green triangle ones, the synergy.
Oh,
This
let's
is
go. All right, second shell on the shield. Oh, what do you got?
Nothing is coming
Nothing.
out.
You need the
Dustin.
focus icon, the
Yes.
yellow icons. Yeah. Well, you're gonna keep spending these. You're gonna keep
Yes.
rolling. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, keep
because
rolling.
if I spend one more, which I'm going to,
Yes.
what do
charged up.
I get to do? Spend from the shield to set a die to any face.
That's
So
right.
I'm going to just,
Whoa.
set this to, oh boy, I'm not going to be able to.
So think of that thematically real quick. I'm just going to say, so she's got this shield that every time it takes damage, it powers up, and it powered up enough that she wanted to spend that power on a special ability, and it shows it on your shield card, which is really cool. So the 4 shells that she gained, she just spent them all, but she was able to turn a die to any face and at least complete the challenge to increase her focus by 1. So she did complete that challenge.
Oh, that is so cool. I love that. Heck yes.
All right,
So
so
does that make your turn then?
I think that does, yeah.
To believe.
Yep.
Okay, I think we've got time for maybe one more turn. Matt, I suppose we could let
I
you
mean-
play the game with us.
I will go. Also, this goes right here. I'm going to just put this here for you, B. On your player board, every time you complete a card, you stack the ones under there's a spot for each one, because
Okay.
they actually, they make you stronger against monsters later down the road.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll go. I'm actually playing as Cayman here. So what I'll do for my turn to make it quick, because it looks like we got about 8 minutes left, maybe a little give or take. To show everybody, I'm going to go right ahead. This is a really bad idea. I don't recommend anybody do this ever. I'm going to go fight a monster. I'm going to go fight this.
Yes.
I'm going to go fight this mud crab.
I was
right
hoping
off the bat.
somebody would. Also,
Uh,
what
oh,
kind
wait.
of monsters are available? Like a
Wait,
giant mud crab?
Hang on, I can't yet. I
Uh-oh.
need another shell.
Yeah.
I would need one more turn because you start with 2 shells and 2
Mhm.
fruit. You need 3 shells to go up.
Do you want to fudge it?
I'll
just
tell you
to-
what. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't 1 shell what fell onto my board? It looks like I do get
Oh,
to start
wow.
with 3. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna come up here and go ahead and fight the mud crab. I'll show you how this works. So basically, we look at them. I spent the 3 shells to get here, the very legal 3 shells that I had,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to get the icons that are on the giant mud crab, and if I can, whoever can cover the most of them will get a kill bonus and a spot on the champions board. Now, if nobody kills the mud crab in the round, basically there's a chance of invasion, and that means we would all have to lose a die if we have to roll this die. There's like a chance that he doesn't actually hit us, but you got to roll a dice to see if he hits us or not.
And as to the type of monsters, it's very like kaiju, like
Yes.
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
totally.
ocean deep, like monster.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
let's-
favorite? Y'all, what are your favorite monsters?
Let's look at some of the monsters. I'm gonna stack this up. So look at the fold. I'm gonna kind of like go through some of the monsters if you want to zoom in. Let's just flip this over and see. There's like a Tide Terror. So that guy looks pretty cool. Bullabora. You guys are gonna just watch me try to like just Bullabora.
Love them.
Crawling slobfish.
Oh,
I am a fan of the slobfish.
Wanted as a pet.
Big slobfish fan. Thunder eels. Now thunder eels are cool because see they have two sides, so they have two heads. There's the massive hagworm.
Hagworm. I know
Less of
Dune
a fan.
vibes. Yeah,
Yes,
like
Dune
water
vibes.
Dune vibes.
Yes.
How about a two-headed hydra? So there's two-headed hydra. And now this is crazy because
Aw.
you can see how these are connected here. That
Mhm.
means you must roll two of them to even cover up one. You can't just cover up one. That's a little
Like a hydra.
like a hydra.
The
Phantom
hydra.
krill. Well, look at the phantom krill. How can that be dangerous?
Let me look at them. Where's my button? I'm gonna alt on them. Ah, so cute.
How about a loboster? A loboster. A lob.
Loboster. Brilliant.
yeah. And some sea hounds.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. And a whirlpool weaver. Stingray. Some Moana vibes there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karakeen.
Karakeen.
Yeah. Release the Karakeen.
I just got that
Ah, did you?
after all this time.
And there is a Korra. A Korra has like an island on its back.
Ooh.
Korra's very big.
Disc
It's
world.
a very difficult monster. Garakuda.
Garakuda. Ooh, Garakuda.
Colossal spine squid.
Aw.
There are more monsters than I expected in this deck, by the way. Dragon slime.
So much to choose from in the game.
There is so much to
Yeah.
choose from. Was that my last one? Oh,
I
it
think
is.
was, yeah.
So
Who was I fighting? Oh, the
You're
mud
fighting-
crab down
Yeah,
here.
so Skybound Tabletop in chat was kind of trying to give you a little bit of a correction. Fighting the monster gives you shells, so you don't have to pay for your shells.
Oh, geez, you get the shells. You don't have to pay them. That is my fault. Well, then I don't need to cheat and get the extra shells. I just gain the 3 shells and able to go there. Let me try to fight this thing before we go. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 1 dice. I'm going to spend my fruit to roll my second die. Coming here with only 2 dice, not great because obviously I'm only going to, at best, cover up 2 of the spots.
Mhm.
And remember, when you come up and do, I don't know why I took that fruit. I need the danger dice. That's what I was
The
going
fruit is
for.
very cute.
I got
don't
the-
blame you.
I got the danger dice. So you lose your dice when you fight. Anytime you commit a dice to the fold, you lose them. And then now my next turn, I'm going to have to work on trying to gain dice back into my pool before I revisit the fold. Well, let's go ahead and roll this real quick. I know we're running out of time. Oh, hey, that's about as
I think
good as
that's
I can go.
good.
I can block the I can block this with one of the shells. And then what I
Nice.
would do is I would take my little hit tokens here and cover up I would cover up one of these, and then I would cover up, grab the other one here, cover up one of those. Well, one of these.
Nice.
Got it.
Okay.
So then now someone else on another turn can come and try to fight it as well and add their hit tokens to it. So everybody gets a chance to try to go in there. Well, possibly. I mean, if somehow I was able to kill it on my own, on my turn, that we wouldn't be there. But yeah, so that's kind of like fight. So that would be my turn. I would fight it, and then I lose. I still lose these dice, so I'd have to start working on building up dice again. But that was, I chose to go into the fold. And that's it. So guys, that's a very, very brief and quick overview with slight rule misinformation. I apologize about that. But I hope you had a little bit of fun. And if there's any other questions before we got to wrap up, I think we got a couple minutes.
Yeah. If anybody in chat has any questions about this, we are just going to kind of start our wrap up.
Do we want to go back out, or do we want to stay in here?
Stay in the
Stay.
game
We'll stay
board?
right in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm still just admiring this. So I have just like a really silly stereotypical question that I ask for selfish reasons. I know y'all kickstarted this a while ago, and this is available at regular retailers now. Like anybody could buy this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Does
Tidal
it
Blades.
ship internationally?
Yes.
Yeah, and by international I mean Canada. Just
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, our shop ships internationally. Is that right? Correct, Bree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. This game is so cool. This is absolutely something I would bring to conventions. I would bring to a friend's house. I would force them all to learn the rules with me, and I would sell it to them on the fact that, like, have you ever wanted to be Goku? Midoriya? Luffy?
Yeah.
This is your chance to win with all of your strength behind you. I mean, you have to beat me, and I am the true protagonist. But you know, you got to really sell it to your friends. And I think with that framing, it would just be perfect.
That's right. I got to show off. You know who I'm going for. I want my Deku. That's who's gonna win. That's who's winning.
Exactly. All right. Well, you two have been absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much. So as we start to wrap up, I do just want to talk about Origins Game Fair again, because that is happening so hecking soon. That is going to be September 30th to October 3rd of this year. You know, we are going to be making sure everybody is safe as always with face masks, temperature checks, hand sanitizing stations. But all in all, we are going to be there to have fun. There are going to be booths. I am going to be there at the convention this year. I'm very excited to finally leave my country for the first time in like 2 years. I live on the border and I can't even go anywhere because the great panini. So please, y'all check out Origins Game Fair if you want some more of that good anime content, tabletop content, and board game content. As always, I have been your host, B Zelda. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. Matt and Bree, why don't you give me some outros with some social media plugs as well, please?
It's all you, Bree.
All right. I have been Briana Nivinski over at Skybound Tabletop. I want to plug our Skybound Tabletop socials. Particularly, you can watch our wonderful social media manager, Jess, and myself make fools of ourselves in the name of board games on TikTok, if you follow us at Skybound TikTok. And I also just want to drop, you can purchase Tidal Blades as well as the Tidal Blades Angler's Cove expansion now today on the skybound.com store.
That's right. And I am Matt Faulisi, a retail sales manager from Skybound. And I want to plug our newest Kickstarter game that's currently on Kickstarter right this very second. We are about 3 days in. It is called Valor and Villainy Ludwig's Labyrinth. Go check it out. It is a 1 to 5 player dungeon crawl extravagant. 1 to 6 players, actually. I think it plays up to 6 players. It has lots of opportunity, and then it has legacy elements where you go through the game and unlock new villains and levels and all different kinds of stuff, abilities for your characters. It's outstanding with an amazing narrative. And I adore that game. It's doing great. So please, if you're on Kickstarter, check out Valor and Villainy Ludwig's Labyrinth.
Fabulous. All right, well, thank you, everybody, and we will wave goodbye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.